Okay, here we go. So let me just mute this so I don't hear myself. It's working. I'm just going to share the link. So Lean, here's the link. And let me hit I record. Where's the chat? Where's the chat? Somebody say something to me in the chat so I can see the chat box. Oh, here it is. Okay. So Lean, you can share this link.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to edit the one on my Facebook. And then I'll hit record. And then we'll go. Okay. The chat so I can see the chat box. Okay, I better mute here it is. Myself here. Lean, you can share this link.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm just going to edit the one on my Facebook. Why am I hearing my... Okay, where is it? Okay, here it is. Perfect. 1 second, guys. Almost there. Lead page. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what was happening. Sorry. Reload. We'll get there. Where is it? I'm just making sure that this is okay on Facebook. 1 second, guys. Almost there. Lead page. Okay. Perfect. Okay, I think we're all set up. Okay, so welcome everybody to today's chat. I am thrilled to be here with my beautiful students from Taqasim Mastery. I'm going to introduce, well, they will introduce themselves to you. This is supposed to be an interactive chat, so feel free just, to pop your comments and your questions in. There's a chat box below underneath this video, so just go ahead and just chat to us. So these are my amazing students from the Taqasim Mastery program. And so just so you can have more context about what it is. So Taqasim Mastery program is the only comprehensive program that leads Arabic music enthusiasts to go from maqam to Taqasim without the need to formal music education or prior knowledge of maqam. And it does that in a fraction of the time it takes by traditional methods. So I am happy to introduce to you Dominique Al-Khudari, amazing oud player, composer. Nicholas George joining us from the States. He's my wonderful Qanun student. Sara Abanabi, also my wonderful Qanun student from France, currently saying hello to us from Riyadh. And Lean, are you in Oslo? You're in Oslo? No, I don't know where you are. Okay, she's somewhere in very snowy Norway. Everybody, I just would like you to just, in your own words, just introduce just give us a bit more insight about your journey with Maqam and Taqsim before you joined the program. Nicholas, would love to hear how it started with you.
I'm fairly recent to Maqam and Taqsim. I've only been playing music for about 2 years. I started out on the oud, and after a year, I just wanted to try out the qanun, and it was just really no place for me to really start properly till I found a video of you tuning the qanun on YouTube. And I was just like, oh my God, I have to have her as my teacher. She's fantastic. So I signed up with the academy about a year ago, and I feel like I've made so much progress so far. And I signed up for a few maqam courses and taqsim courses beforehand, but as soon as I logged in for the first time to your program, I was just so hooked. Everything was just there. There's so much information. So I was just super happy to be able to have it all at my fingertips and get to play and get started.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. And Lean, do you want to introduce, maybe I'll come to you last, but Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself and how it started with Maqam and Taqsim for you?
Yeah, so my Qanun journey started during COVID time. And it was like a blessing, you know, starting in 2020 with you. It was finally a dream come true to be able to dive into Maqamat and later on Taqsim. And yeah, I just couldn't believe that it was something so attainable or reachable, you know. So I'm so thankful that I joined this academy and later on the Taqasim mastery course. And I just wish everyone who loves Arabic music to just join us.
Thank you so much. Dominica, do you want to just briefly just tell me, I know you are a professional musician, you have been playing for many, many years, but, you know, just, yeah, so what brought you here and what struggles did you have with Maqam and Taqasim before you?
So I mean, I studied medieval music before as well, so that
Really, I didn't know that.
you
Wow,
didn't know that. We didn't talk about it.
music. I
Yeah,
love
in
music.
Basel actually, in Switzerland.
Wow, okay.
So I kind of had an imagination of what modality is, but I really wanted to go deeper, and I got this oud from friends from Alexandria and basically started playing concerts without knowing what I'm doing, and I was feeling so guilty about it. And that was a whole journey. And I started to study oud. So they took me in on an academy level on my very little oud skills because I was already a musician. And we did have courses in Makam, in Turkish Makam, in Arabic Makam.
Really?
Yes, with people. And I have this great book and everything, you know, like I knew things, but there was always this discordance, you know, dissonance between what I know, what I hear, and what I would like to express. And there was also this, I was extremely intimidated, and I never felt, however good I became on the oud, like technically and musically, I never felt as an oud player, and I always felt guilty going on stage because I couldn't do Taqsim like half a year ago, like literally half a year ago I couldn't do Taqsim. Like I played some notes, but I knew it's not what it should be. So I knew things, but I couldn't really express myself, and that was a big struggle. And I was really frustrated, I think, when we met. Yeah, it was a very big frustration point.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I remember that I think when we knew each other before, but you came to the Maqam Lego experience, isn't it? And then it was like so yeah, I mean, so what has changed, guys? So I mean, I know I haven't heard a lot about the struggle so before, and I'm not here to talk at you. I'm just here as a facilitator. People need to meet your gorgeous selves and just to get to know you better. Because
maybe I should introduce myself also, Maya, before we start.
I was thinking you were doing some sharing.
I'm finished now, so
Please do.
yes. I'm a Norwegian. I'm everything that I was told couldn't play Arabic music. So I am Norwegian. I'm non-Arab. I have never played an instrument before. I was more than 40 years old when I started to play for the first time. I didn't know anything about music theory. I had everything against me. But for some reason, I worked in Gaza, in Palestine, with a humanitarian organization many years ago, and there I was introduced to Arabic music, and I just fell in love with it immediately, and something felt just so at home with it. But I never thought I could play it, you know, because I couldn't play music. I never played an instrument, so I started to listen and to dance instead. Until about the same time as Sarah, right before the pandemic, both of us took the step, and yeah, I found that okay, this is the time, and I'm very happy I did it. Both to start to play and to really be able to I feel I have this kind of deep love relationship with Arabic music and with my qanun, and it's given me so much joy in life. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
Ah, so beautiful. Yeah, it all starts with love, eh? We all just fall in love in our face and you go like, I just wanna feel more of that love. And yeah, it's beautiful. So I know that you even have been called like crazy. That's really mean. That's so did you try different methods to get to a place where you can understand? If Lean, since you're just chatting, so if you want to just share some of that.
Yeah, I tried like everything. When I first started to play the qanun, I thought that understanding how the maqam system works would be essential. And I am also a person who need to know why I'm doing something. So that was kind of my main thing. But the first teacher I kind of found before you suddenly turned up in my feed was not really, was more of the traditional kind. I had to copy and not think, just to copy. So when I tried to ask about maqam and I tried to ask about taqsim, I was told that no, you just copy, and then with maqam, maybe when you copy like for 10 years, maybe you will just understand it, you will just get it magically. And taqasim, like, don't think about it, Yeah. So that is kind of, I got the impression that that was only for the elite few who were kind of had this already inside them, and they were the only ones who both could do it, but I also felt were allowed to do it. Yeah, so that was really, really frustrating for me, and to the point where I almost gave up, because I said I can't play an instrument if I don't understand what I'm doing. So I was very, very close to just give up the whole thing and sell my qanun and just move on in my life. And then I suddenly saw a video where you explained tarab, I think, and I felt like in those 8-minute video, or maybe it was 5, I had learned more than I have done throughout this period with other methods. So here we are a few years later.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And how about you, Nicholas? Did you try other methods, and did you struggle? How was it for you?
It was definitely a struggle. I didn't really have a system. I didn't have a way to I know we're talking about the Taqsim mastery, but I started with your Qanun Academy, and like I had teachers who would give me pieces, and I would just, okay, that's learn this, and that's that. But there's so much more structure when you join the academy, because you have 5 different stages. You break everything down into different stages of where, okay, you have these techniques, these ornamentation techniques, these are the pieces that you should work on. Okay, you've mastered this one, here's 5 other pieces, choose whichever one you want. So I do appreciate that you kind of give us that freedom of being able to like, this is where you should be, this is where you should go. So I definitely did have some struggles. I didn't understand what we were, the pieces that I was assigned. I'm like, okay, cool, I could play it by ear now, I could hear it, I could read it, but what's the modulation? Why are we changing from this maqam to this maqam? Why does this note go flat? Why does this note go sharp? And you do such a great job of like just explaining, okay, well, it's a modulation, went from dark to light, we went from happy to sad. So that's been very helpful, and it's helped with a lot of those frustrations where they explain the whys as to, instead of just copy and paste.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. And how was it for you, Dominica? So I know you just touched on it, but you said that you had a lot of frustration.
Yeah, I think.
What did you try before, and why it didn't work?
I didn't really try anything much apart of just like playing around. Oh no, I made my whole batch about that. Right. And I still didn't come very far.
Right.
I tried to develop my own method, but that was really hard. I realized that I need to focus on the listening part and to copying and understanding the repertoire. But what was problematic for me that like I got lost so quickly because you go on YouTube, you spread the repertoire, and there's too much. And as a student, you just don't know what to focus on, where to start. What is the important representative piece now? And then you find 20 and you don't really know which way to go. And then it's just too much material. And I was thinking all the time because people also kept telling me, yes, one day it will come, but it never came, it's never coming. And I'm thinking, wait, but I didn't listen that music from since I was 5. So maybe I need a different approach also. And I don't have the next 10 years because I'm already on stage with an instrument, but I cannot deliver what I would like to deliver. So please, can I speed it up a little bit? Because I don't know how to go through that, like immense body of repertoire myself and then still like structure it. And then like, it's just overwhelming maybe. So I could analyze maybe, but in bits, but still I didn't know what to look for exactly, even though I had theory background, like of understanding somehow. Even though like the people never, I feel when people talk about makam and theory, it's rarely they arrive even to the point of modulation. They just say, okay, that's the makam, and then listen to the pieces. But people don't touch upon modulations. And I just was noodling around all the notes from A to Z, and I knew it doesn't sound right. So yeah, I felt left alone by it, really. I felt a bit alone because you never, even though like I have a great teacher, I'm really lucky in that regard. But then in oud lessons specifically, you focus on the technique, you focus on building up a repertoire to understand different styles. So there is not like also all the time left to focus only on makam and then only on taqsim, because you also work on so many other things. And I just didn't feel like I have the time to wait for 10 years, because maybe in 10 or 20 years I cannot play oud anymore, who knows? And I'm on stage now and I would love to. I think I was really frustrated because the reason I felt so connected also with the instrument, I felt I want to express myself more. So not just be a passive, like repetitive player, because I did that as a violin player, like to play the classical repertoire. I felt I want to express something. And I felt I don't have the language. That was really sad. Like I was crying, actually.
Oh,
I was really crying because of that. Yeah.
wow. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Sarah, how was it for you? Did you try to work, and why not?
I totally second everyone here. Like it's very difficult to find like a real method, to follow. I would go on YouTube, find a few videos talking about maqamat, how to do taqasim on them, but it felt so like a huge sea. I don't know where to start, if I will be drowning right away or not. Understanding, the sequence they go through, idiomatic phrases, ramaz, like all these tiny details you talk about, you never hear that in the videos. And yes, once you join this course, you realize the difference between what you teach and what you see on like general YouTube videos. So yeah, I'm just so happy and grateful, to have reached your course.
Oh, that's amazing. So yeah, I mean, if you're lucky, you get a paragraph in a book about a maqam, and that's that. But we spend 2-3 hours on a maqam, isn't it? So it's really important to understand the whole shebang, modulations, the maqam and its babies, all the maqamat family and the behavior and all of that. And I really love how different we are inside the Taqasim Mastery, isn't it? Because we have opera singers, we have like kind of hot fish singers, experimental singers, we have keyboardists, we just want to have people who would love Arabic music and just want to learn how to listen, qanun players, oud players, composers, dancers. It's really versatile, and we have people from Arab background and non-Arab background. So I really love that, and I love watching all of you basically blossom. So in few words, how did the Taqasim mastery method help you in terms of just giving you tools, in terms of time, in any way? So Nicholas, how would you say?
I think the helpful part has been your listening resources. You provide so many different listening resources, like literally pages and pages of different songs that are on the same, maqamat. So when I go through and I'm like, oh, I want to play a Fairuz song, or this is my favorite song, or whatever, I listen to the maqam and I go through those lists, and there's so much information in them that I'm like, okay, I recognize these four songs. Now I understand. This is why they're all in the same maqam family. This is why they all kind of sound similar. I feel like that was super, super helpful. One of the best tools I could have gotten. Also, another tool that really helps out is just the master classes, when you talk for 2 hours about the maqam and you explain the feeling. Why is the maqam, how come it goes like this? Why is it? What's the feeling behind it? I don't there's a lot of explanation. So that's been the most helpful. And of course, some of the most helpful thing I think would be just watching the more advanced music players play the maqams, because it allows you to kind of just take a step back and say, okay, like in 4 years, this is possibly the range that I might be in if I continue at this pace. So it definitely helps seeing others who have, mastered their craft a little bit better than I have in my short time on the canoe, and be able to really get to that extra level. And it's just so helpful just seeing them, and just seeing your feedback to them as well, because you've been doing it for so long, that you've really, you pick up on the little things here and there that most I would never be able to pick up on. So I think that's been the most helpful for me.
Amazing. Thank you so much. What would you say was the most helpful thing for you? How did the Taqasim mastery method help you, in few words, please?
Yeah, first I just have to say that Nick, it will take you a lot less than 4 years, going at this pace that you're doing, and with these methods, in a year. Yeah, I think when we're sitting here next Christmas, with your Christmas tree behind you, then you will. I'm going to enjoy all the Taqasim I will hear from you. So yeah, I was thinking about that because there's so many things, that had changed from something that I initially thought would be impossible for me, to have reached so many things. Not only developing my ears, that because I want to. I want to connect with the music, and not through reading sheet music. I want to listen and to be inside the music. So I don't. I need to hear, and I do everything by ear. And my ears has developed so much. And one very interesting thing I was thinking about has happened is because when I was dancing to a lot of this music, I felt something, but I couldn't explain why. And not only do I now have more tools to analyze it, I understand exactly why I feel the things I feel in that exact moment in that song. It's not just the general maqam, but all these nuances that you talk about, not just like a basic modulation, but also how the song is done, how the dynamics, go in, how the mix or the change between the dark and the light elements, and which are these elements, how they work, So now I know exactly why I feel the way I feel. Before it was just kind of like just a magical thing. But yeah, and this is what I really love the most, you know, that I understand the why, and that I also now have all the tools I need to understand even the most rarest and complex and weirdest makamat, you know, because we have a vocabulary and tools and a way of talking about it and explaining it, which, by the way, I'm just so amazed how you are able to do so complex things, so understandable, without making it simplistic. You keep the complexity, but we understand. It's kind of really amazing, and yeah, also like what Nick was just talking about, you know, like with all these also small nuances that you, because you I feel I understand how the music works, and by understanding that, when I listen to music, I can also then make more informed choices when I play myself. And that is another thing, like not just that I now have an overview of the structure and the behaviors and all the modulation options for all the main makamat, and I have like what I need now to enjoy exploring Taqasim for the rest of my life, you know. But and that I'm also much more confident in improvising. But having these tools and being able to play with them and work on them and improvise on them, and understanding why things are the way they are and which affect certain changes does, I can play like myself. I don't have to copy anyone. I, you know, I can express how I feel because now I have the tools. And for that, I'm forever grateful.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I feel a bit teary. That's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for sharing. Sarah, how would you say this method has helped you in few sentences, please?
Well, I also share the same views that Nicholas and Lena mentioned, but I would also emphasize on the Q&As that we have so often. And I find it's always enriching, you know, to learn from others. So sometimes you wouldn't think about a certain question, or you wouldn't hear a song in a certain way, but others would. And all of this is so inspiring. And sometimes we used to have like Q&As who would last even longer than certain classes.
Always.
And that's really fun. You know, so yeah, I even if I don't have like a question right now, I know that all the others would have different questions, and we would enjoy and explore even more. Yeah, and this is really enriching, and it only adds to your experience. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Dominika, how would you say this method has given you the tools and has filled the gap that you were experiencing before?
So I start from the small start, because the reason I hopped on this Makam Lego course, even though I theoretically had theoretical background already, was because I was so frustrated, and I thought, okay, maybe Maya, it's for free, you know, like it's 1 week free. So maybe Maya has something to say, like one small extra sentence that I've never heard before. Maybe she has some small information that I maybe missed out that will open some doors for me, which I'm still missing. So that was like this feeling like, who knows what's there. And being in this like super professional environment with my oud, you know, I'm not originally Arab either, and it's not my original instrument, and I did start it late in life. I always felt quite judged. And the first thing that struck me, which was so positive in that environment, and that was thanks to Maya and her approach to teaching, but also thanks to Lina, who was kind of like managing the course, the background course, is that I felt very safe. I felt I was suddenly like in a space of friends who just want to support each other and develop their skills on wherever they are in their journey. And I felt like I'm in a very non-judgmental, very safe space. And I think you cannot have learning without that type of space, you know? So that's, I think that's the basis, which for me enabled even to start the process. And there are maybe 3 things which for me are super valuable. Of course, like your explanations when we go into the deep dives, because then we can go into every details and we can always, you always check with us also if we understand, if we have another question. For me, as I mentioned before, is like just like we are now like half year with you, and it's a guided journey. So I don't feel I'm drowning in the material. Sometimes like I get to learn new repertoire, I'm expanding also my point of view, but it's always with somebody on my side who can even like guide my ears to a specific place so that I can catch up on them more quickly and more consciously. Like Sarah, I would say like the QAs are so valuable, because even though like I didn't play so much yet, but in January it's coming. I feel that like the fact that we can always like check with you and you can like give us feedback and we can, as Sarah said, learn from each other. So like if Lena is presenting something or has a specific question, I suddenly like, oh, okay, wait. So this is like this group learning dynamic is also super good. And that I find it like amazing that we have people who just started, who never played music before me. And I think it doesn't really matter. You just put it in a way that it doesn't matter. And it's great because I feel there's a liberty also that everyone can learn in their own way, in their own tempo, without, like you have to have accomplished that until that. And if not, you're like out or something. So this is the third thing now. Am I done? Let me check my notes, that I have some notes. Because I'm so forgetful. I traveled a whole week. Yeah, but I think that's the most important, that you are like always kind of there for us, and I don't feel left alone, and I don't feel I'm clueless, and there's somebody just,
So beautiful. Thank you so much. And I just love how everybody, like we have professional musicians and we have people who are learning for themselves. And I just love, because this is where it all started. It's with love. We just love music. That's everything I need. And, it's the only thing we need, just you love music. You're welcome. So thank you so much for sharing all of that. So I have a last question. So in a sentence or two, like a kind of open fire, like what do you say to somebody who is sitting on the fence, like considering joining Taqasim Mastery? What would you say to them? So I'm just gonna go with Nicholas all the way to Dominica. Nicholas, go.
Join now. Join now, because it's the quicker you join. I struggled with this. I purchased all your courses previous to joining the academy. And as soon as I logged in, I was like, oh my God, like I need the feedback. I need more. There's so much information. I really can't stress that enough. There's so much information. So if you're on the fence, do it now so you could catch up, because part of, I know this is supposed to be quick, but I'm just going to go into it one more time. There's a lot of Q&As. That was the biggest, to me, that's some of the most valuable stuff, is when you join, you get to see all the previous question and answers that Maya's already answered, and you're probably going to have those questions at one point or another when you start doing your training and when you start practicing. So the quicker you join, the more time you're going to have to really learn the basics and the advanced stuff. So to me, especially doing it at an older age, I started playing music on my 36th birthday. It was so helpful to be able to ground myself and everything and start from the first Q&As, because everything that you're going to have question wise, it's already been asked before. So it's better time management. So I would definitely suggest signing up right away and just catching up, because there's a lot of catching up to do if you want to learn properly, and if you want to do it the authentic way, and making sure that you plug properly, make sure that you play properly, and you ascend and descend. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. Join now, quickly.
Thank you so much. And I'm just going to add that everything is searchable. So, and we focus on like the minimum of like the minimum time commitment. Can you put 10 minutes a day? We scroll on our phone all day. You know, just can you put 30 minutes a day? And then if life happens, can you spend, I don't know, 15 minutes on the weekends? So it's just all about minimum time commitment, because I understand people are busy, and everything's searchable. So you can just, you know, search by word. So you can be very, very like laser focused on the things that matter. Sada, what would you say to somebody who is on the fence?
Join now also. So I would say even for people who don't play an instrument, like if you want to appreciate the Arabic music even more, you should join. You would be able to understand the maqamat, why you love this piece more than this one, why you feel the tarab in this part. I think you will not find any content that is this rich, you know, except for the Taqasim mastery course. And because you take us in a journey with each maqam, it's like introducing us to a new person, you know, with their mood, with their universe. And I've never seen that anywhere else. So yeah, don't hesitate and just join.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Lean, what would you say to somebody who's on the fence?
Before I say that, I also just wanted to comment on the Nick and Sada's thing, because with what Sada said, I also agree that even, you know, we had people who just want to listen better and to understand better. And I also think, you know, learning what I have, even if I hadn't found the canoeing and I was still like in the dance world, I would still learn so much that would really deepen my connection to the music. So it doesn't have to be with an instrument if you really want to understand and get it under your skin and get it into your body, so that, you know, it's yeah, this is the way to go to understand Arabic music. And I also just wanted also to stress that everyone is on different and their own journeys. So we have people who are professional musicians and composers, and we have people who just want to enjoy in their own living room by themselves. And we have beginners who are just like plucking their first strings on the canoe, or just starting with an instrument, or, you know, very, very advanced people. And everyone, that is another thing I'm really amazed at how you're able to do, Maya, because you manage to have such a diverse group in the same room and explain things that not only everyone understands, but everyone learns something from it, you know, also. I remember I also done, like Nick, go back to different Q&As, you know, from before and from when I was beginning. And I remember Maya had some very deep conversations about Maqam, which I couldn't get the depth of it then, but I could get enough that it opened my ears and my mind to see these things, you know, going forward. And then when I went back to those Q&As, and then I can actually understand the whole thing and hear it, you know. So yeah, so even if, you know, you're starting, you're a beginner, you know, don't worry about joining, because there is more than enough room for you too. So but what I want to say, I was the same once. I was on the fence for many years, because I thought it was not possible for me to play music and to learn music and to learn about maqamat, and at least not to play Taqasim. So I just want to say that you have the option, you have the possibility now. Either you can wait another year, or you can, take from my experience and just start and try. And for me, at least, that's opened a whole new world. And I'm so, so glad I did. And I didn't have to come and wait another year and being in the exact same position and being frustrated that, okay, I maybe, I want to, but I don't dare, or I don't think it's possible. Just try. And then, you will see. And chances are that you will find a new love of your life too.
No.
So I would just say, like, one day or day one, it's up to you. You can have it this as day one. And I hope to see many people, in the new year.
Thank you so much, Lean. Dominika, what would you say to somebody who is sitting, should I not? What would you say to this person?
Okay, let me start there. I think we know Maya is a great Qanun player and composer. Right? But if you know a great player, that doesn't necessarily make this person a great teacher or pedagogue, because it also requires a little bit different set of skills and talents. And Maya is just like extremely good, structured and dedicated pedagogue. In fact, Maya, you are one of the most structured and ordered and dedicated pedagogue I've ever met since I play music. And I play music since I'm 7 years old. So, and I wouldn't say it like without meaning it. So I just want to tell you a big thank you, because I profit a lot from that. So if you have a chance to come by a great player who's also a great pedagogue and dedicated and so structured, like I would never miss a chance to learn with a person like that, wherever you are, in your journey, if you just start out or not. I think the other thing is we have the material, we just have the material now, right? So even if I'm, like I wasn't lazy, but I was super busy. So in the last 2 months, I was doing a bit less. But I know now in the winter break, I can just rewatch it. And I know in half a year, when I'm more mature, maybe with my understanding, I can again rewatch it if I have specific questions. So it's always accessible. And like, okay, can I address the money issue? Because I thought it through. Like the price looked like, oh, that's a lot of money, like musicians and stuff. And then, like, if you see courses, like somewhere, like there's maybe 300 euros. So then it's like, okay, would you rather take the 300 euro, right? But we all know, first of all, musicians are undervalued and underpaid, usually, in the whole scene. And then I sat down and I literally, you don't know that, because I was talking with a friend about you. And I sat down and I counted it through. I literally said, okay, what are we getting? A, B, C. How many hours do you spend with us? How many hours do you dedicate with us? And I counted it through. And it's absolutely reasonable, if not still a little bit cheaper than other people take per hour if you take individual lessons with them. So I realized in one batch, it appears like it's a lot of money. But then you get such a value, which you're like, okay, it's sold. I'm sorry that I addressed this money, but I think it could be for some people.
Yeah.
And I just realized, oh wait, no, it's absolutely more than fair. It's actually more than fair, if not even still underpriced a little bit. So what can I say?
Thank you so much. I mean, I am raising my prices next year, with that being said. So you better join this year before it goes up, because I really love helping you go deeper and faster, and just to have joy in the process. It just makes me have a really warm smile when I sleep at night. I really love this so much. And what can I say? I'm really blessed with the most amazing. I always attract the most wonderful students on the planet. It's just like they are so much high vibe, so beautiful, so supportive. So what can I say? If you two are ready to just stop waiting, my friend, and ready to, for 2024 to be the year where you can actually play a Taqasim, actually, okay, then just apply. There is a link that I'm gonna drop after this live. Send me a message on Facebook or Instagram if you have any questions, or on info@myasif.com. And I will be answering those honestly. So join us, and if you have any questions, I'm here. I just want to say a big thank you to Dominika, Lean, Sarah, and Nicholas. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for sharing your beautiful selves. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us.